Welcome back to Storybrooke. It was a cloudy afternoon in Aaru's magical library. Aaru and his friends were huddled around the storybook as he turned its glowing pages. This time the storybook revealed a grand stone bridge stretching over a shimmering river. On one side of the bridge, the sun shone warmly over golden fields, while the other side was dark and cool, with a quiet forest beneath heavy clouds. "The Bridge of Understanding," Maya read aloud. "Where light and shadow must meet to restore harmony." Intrigued, Aaru and his friends exchanged curious glances. Without hesitation, they jumped into the storybook to uncover the mystery behind this magical bridge. They arrived at the base of the bridge, surrounded by breathtaking scenery. One side glowed under the sun's rays, the other rested under peaceful shadows. But the bridge itself looked cracked and unstable, as though on the verge of collapsing. At its center stood two friends, Lila and Samir, clearly upset with each other. Lila stood on the sunny side, arms crossed, while Samir stayed on the shadowy side looking away. "What's wrong?" Aaru asked gently as the group approached. Lila sighed. "Samir doesn't understand how important sunlight is for this bridge. It needs light to stay strong." Samir shook his head. "And Lila doesn't get how the shadow cools the bridge and keeps it from overheating. Without balance, it's all falling apart." Aaru and his friends decided to explore each side of the bridge to learn more. On Lila's side, the golden fields were beautiful and full of blooming flowers, but the ground was cracked and dry from intense sunlight. Meanwhile, on Samir's side, the forest was cool and refreshing, but certain plants struggled without enough light. "Both sides are important," Maya said thoughtfully. "Lila's sunlight helps things grow, but Samir's shade keeps everything balanced. The bridge needs both to stay strong." "But they're not listening to each other," Finn added, glancing at Lila and Samir, who still stood apart. "How can we fix the bridge if they won't work together?" Aaru had an idea. "We'll need to show them what happens when light and shadow cooperate," he said. "Let's bring them to the middle of the bridge." But convincing Lila and Samir wasn't easy. Each was certain they were right. "The sunlight is what keeps everything alive," Lila insisted. "Without it, the bridge will collapse." "And without the shadow," Samir countered, "the bridge will crack and fall apart." Their voices echoed across the river. Maya stepped forward calmly. "Listen," she said, her tone gentle. "Both of you want the same thing, to save the bridge, but neither of you can do it alone. What if you tried stepping into each other's side, just for a moment, to see what it's like?" Reluctantly, Lila and Samir agreed. Lila ventured into the shadowy forest, while Samir walked into the golden sunlight. At first, both felt uncomfortable. Lila missed the sun's warmth, and Samir squinted at the brightness. But as they explored, they began to see the beauty in each other's worlds. "Your forest is so peaceful," Lila admitted, gazing up at the tall, quiet trees. "And your fields are so full of life," Samir said, running a hand over the golden grass. For the first time, they smiled at each other, realizing they hadn't seen the full picture before. With new understanding, Lila and Samir met in the middle of the bridge. "What if we share the light and shadow?" Lila suggested. "Then the bridge could have both, just like the fields and the forest." Samir nodded. "Let's do it." Working together, Lila and Samir began to repair the bridge. Aaru and his friends joined in. Finn lifted heavy stones, Maya gathered tools, and Ella carried water to mix the cement. Each of them did their part, and bit by bit, the cracks in the bridge began to close. A soft glow returned to the bridge, stronger than before. Golden light and gentle shadow spread across the stone, blending together in perfect harmony. Flowers bloomed along the edges, and the shimmering river below sparkled with both sunlight and shade. When the bridge was fully restored, Lila and Samir turned to Aaru and his friends. "Thank you for helping us see the value in each other's worlds," they said. As a token of gratitude, they handed Aaru a small, glowing pendant shaped like the bridge. "This is the pendant of harmony," Lila explained. "Let it remind you that understanding and balance make us stronger together." Back in the magical library, Aaru placed the pendant of harmony on a special shelf. Its soft golden light filled the room as the friends reflected on their journey. They had learned how important it was to listen, understand, and work together, even when viewpoints seemed worlds apart. Morale of the story: true strength comes from understanding others and meeting them halfway. When we listen and embrace different perspectives, we can create harmony and build something truly lasting. See you for Aaru's next adventure.